potential for M Fury to do all sorts of different projects, and I'm helping Kelsey to write some.
Oh, great.
But I'm not sure if MitoSENS
Is one of
really.
the best ones suited for M Fury. Okay.
No, no.
Okay. Yeah, just asking, because I know we have a lot of ambitious undergraduates at the Immortality Institute that are just chomping at the bit, waiting to do some research. So just thought
Well, we're definitely working
I'd.
hard to make sure that they have things to do when they want to.
Okay, super. Yeah. Now, I see we've already been going on for almost 45 minutes, and I know it's late over there in Paris, so I don't want to keep you going too long. I just want to put another call out in case anyone has any more questions for our wonderful guest here tonight, Mark Hamalainen, MitoSENS researcher for the Methuselah Foundation. We'll be talking here for a couple more minutes, so if you have a couple of last questions, shoot them out. And I just wanted to ask Mark if he had anything that he wanted to promote as far as where you might be at some conference in the future, or something we can expect to hear from you in the near future as far as lab results, anything like that.
Well, it's an interesting time that you've had me on as a guest to represent MitoSense because the truth is I'm actually going to be leaving Paris in 3 weeks.
Whoa.
So MitoSense is continuing on, but it's going to be continuing without me. I'm actually going to work on a different project.
Oh, you are. Oh, okay.
So I'm actually going to be. I found somebody to sort of take over for me, and Marisol's lab is. She's got a lot of really great, skilled people there, and the Methuselah
Super.
Foundation's going to be continuing to fund her work. But I'm going to California actually in early October.
Ah,
I'm
okay.
going to be joining with. I think you may know. I'm not sure if many people do, but there's a group called Halcyon Molecular. That
Yep.
it's a startup biotech company that actually works closely with the Methuselah Foundation, and I'm going to be going to work with them for a time.
Oh, okay. Well, that sounds
So
good. And I suppose and unfortunately, that's nothing that you can probably go into too much depth about. I suppose.
no,
Yeah.
it's I've signed a non-disclosure
Sure,
agreement
sure.
about their technologies. But
Yeah.
the good news is that I'm looking forward to being in the United States because then I'll get to go to all the conferences and hang out with you guys a lot more often. I've been missing out on that
Sure.
over
Oh,
here in
hey,
Boston.
so you're going to be going to California in a few weeks, so that means there's a chance we might see you at the Convergence Conference
Yeah, I'll
in
have to look
November?
into it. I mean, I'm going to be busy when I first
Oh,
arrive, but
sure, sure.
it's possible. Yeah, I hope to get out to as many of those sorts of things as I can.
Great, yeah. And really, it's great to hear, though. I mean, sure, I'm sad that you're maybe moving away from the Methuselah Foundation, but I know you're still doing work in similar areas. But it is nice to see a lot of these biomedical, biotech startups lately. And I was just reading an article a while ago that just this past week, there was some financial analyst who expected by 2015 that there would be $1 trillion worth of nanomedicine every year. That the business would be worth that much in
Yeah,
just six
I
years.
wouldn't be surprised actually, especially what is it, nanoparticles, like using small, like sort of instead of using viruses, using these like
Oh,
engineered, totally artificial.
these metamaterials.
Yeah.
Right, yeah,
They
totally
can be
artificial
used as
vectors.
delivery vectors and therapies in themselves.
Which,
I think one of the most interesting things I've seen is to actually use radio waves to heat up nanoparticles that have been localized to cancer cells and specifically kill cancer cells without having any effect whatsoever on surrounding tissue. So, I mean,
right,
traditional radiation therapies involve X-rays and other strong and gamma
oh,
rays and things
it's
that do a lot of damage to surrounding tissue.
yeah, we all
But
know
we're
it's
going to be
horrible. Yeah.
developing the next generation of radiation therapies will actually pass through your body and only interact with the site, the target site.
Right, which kind of brings us full circle with what you started out with, getting interested in the whole field in longevity science and science fiction. 15 years ago, all this nanotech and these artificial vectors, these
Mm.
metamaterials, were basically science fiction. I mean, people were talking about it, but it seemed like it was decades away. But it really seems as though nanotechnology and nanomedicine is really maturing, let's say, and really
Yes.
holds a lot of promise, right?
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, well, I see some people are also excited in the chat there about halcyon. How do you say that? Halcyon?
Halcyon.
Halcyon molecular. Yeah, and Richard, thanks for posting a link so everyone can check it out. That'll be what Mark is calling his home now in the future. So that's very good. And I guess we didn't get any more questions, so I don't want to keep you up too much longer. I just want to say thank you very much, Mark, for stopping by. I'll end the call here for you tonight. But if you if you did see a couple of points in the chat that you wanted to speak to, feel free to stick around and maybe add a couple of extra points. But I'll end the call for now, and we'll start wrapping the program up. And I just want to say a big thanks once again for being such a great member of the Immortality Institute, but all your great work with the Methuselah Foundation as well.
Thanks for having me, and I'll thank the Immortality Institute as well, because it did help me get started, so I hope it can continue to do so for other people as well.
Well, we're growing and we're getting excited for the conference, and it looks like the Institute has a bright future. It really does. We got a lot of projects going. We've got a scholarship basically approved for M-Fury students. So yeah, a lot of great things to look forward to, and you've been a big help as well throughout our history. So I would say then, have a good night, Mark, and hope to talk to you soon in the future.
Yeah, I think I'll stay around and chat a little bit maybe too. I'm just going to make some tea. So
okay,
good night.
Excellent. Well, that sounds like a good idea for everyone who's in the chat room. Mark says, hey, he's going to hang around a little bit, so that's good news. If you had a couple of extra questions, feel free to go ahead and ask him. I just want to remind everyone on next week's program that we have coming up Kevin Parrott. And everyone, I'm sure, is familiar with him as well. Former director of the Immortality Institute, and now works for the Methuselah Foundation. So he will also be able to give us a good clue of how things are moving along with the Methuselah Foundation, and what's going. Where's the money going? Is anyone going to win the mouse prize soon? Do we have any record-breaking mice? Be sure to think of all your questions for Kevin Parrott next week on the Sunday evening update. But for now, I think that will be all for this week's edition. The official recording of the Sunday evening update for this September 21st. Hope to see you back again next week.